What's up, everybody? My name is Doug.
And my name's Aaron.
And we are ExStepCousinInLaws. So we're locked up in quarantine just like everybody else is. And Masterworks and ExStepCousinInLaws are going to do our part. We've been staying home. So today's episode is going to be from our offices. And I don't know if you noticed, but the weather in Michigan is getting much nicer outside. And that means deck season is upon us. So here are the things that you should know before replacing or building your new deck. Well, thanks for getting online with me, bro. I know this is hard for you with all this new technology. Oh, I like the Masterworks shirt. Look at you all prepared.
I used to look as bad as you, but I had to make my coffee.
You're looking pretty wild, my man. Your hair's growing. You got the long beard. Your hair is super tall. That part that you got right there is like, you remember Butthead?
I know. Dude, I had to like literally do this to get the sawdust out of my hair before I...
Okay, good, man. Well, let's get started, bro, so we can help these people out. All right, Aaron, so I've been getting phone calls. I know you've been getting phone calls. Everybody's asking about decks. Dude, what are some of the things that people have been asking you about?
Can you even build a deck the size that you want? Obviously, there's city requirements on setbacks and size of the deck.
All right, so the first thing that people should know is, can they even build a deck?
Yep.
And if they can, how big can it be and where can they build it? Because of the setbacks, because of the city ordinances.
Yeah, green space allowances.
So, dude, what's the easiest way for someone to be able to tell if they can build a deck?
The easiest way is if you have neighbors, go in your backyard, look both ways, and see if your neighbors have decks. So if they do, more than likely, you should be able to build a deck as well.
And that'll help you determine what size of deck you can build as well, because you should probably be looking for setbacks, looking for how far back their deck goes, how much space there is between their deck and property lines, and the size of their house. If everything's pretty similar to yours, which they are in most subdivisions, then it's really an easy way to determine if you can build a deck and how big.
Yeah. Another option is just to go on your, whatever city you live in, go on their website, and they have all the requirements that you'll need for your deck.
All right, dude. So once they determine that they can build a deck and where they're going to build a deck, what's the next thing they should be thinking about?
The next thing they need to be thinking about is staging and accessibility before we get into the process of building the deck. So staging would include things like, where can we put the lumber while we're working? Do we have access to your backyard? Is there gates? Is there garages that we have to go through? Decks down by the water where we have to haul the lumber around? Just have to make sure we can get the material where we need to work. And also we need to get a dumpster. So we need a place to have the dumpster to throw all our debris.
Let's say dumpster's not going to be a problem. We usually put it in the driveway.
Yep. Because
it can hold the dumpster, it doesn't damage the landscaping. Once we do that and we've determined we can get in the backyard, there's no gate, or the gate's big enough, or we can remove the gate or get in a different way, there's no pool in the way, or whatever the case is. Once we've determined those things, what's the next thing they got to think about?
The next thing is the process of actually building the deck. We have to get a permit.
Okay.
So that's just applying for the permit, which includes getting blueprints and a plot plan or a survey, which would have to get handed into the city. So that'd be step one. Once the permit is approved, then we can start working. So we'd have to dig the post holes and pour the concrete for those post holes. After that, we'd have to set the posts and then frame the actual structure of the deck. After that, we can actually put the deck boards on, and then we would do the rail last.
Okay.
So typically that takes us about, depending on the size and scope of the job, but minimum, usually about a week and a half to 2 weeks for a very simple deck.
Okay, so people can count on us being around the job for 2 weeks.
Yeah.
So there's a dumpster for 2 weeks. There's lumber sitting in their yard somewhere for 2 weeks. And there's trucks and guys working around the house for 2 weeks. One thing that people need to think about is we're not just working in your yard. We're probably working right next to your house, right next to your windows.
Right next to your bedroom window.
Right next to your bedroom window. So we're going to be at least by your kitchen, or if there's a door wall or a walkout or something like that. So people got to think about that before they go trotting through their house in their underwear or their robe. Yeah. We're going to be really close to the house, and we're going to be working from like 8 to 5 or 8 to 6. So that'll be kind of inconvenient for you. But as long as you're mindful of that and you plan for it, then it won't be that big of a deal. You'll know what to expect. All right, dude, what is the biggest single factor in determining how long a project takes?
So the biggest variable is the city that you live in. The permit application process will probably take a couple weeks once we apply. And then also the city has to come in and inspect it multiple times while we're actually working.
It usually only takes a week or 2 weeks to build a deck. It takes more than that just to wait for the permit to come back.
Yes.
And then the city has to inspect it a few times. So From the time you're contracted to build a deck, it could take 4 to 6 weeks for the deck to be completed, because there's going to be 2 to 4 weeks where we're waiting for permits. It's going to take us a week or two to finish the deck. So you're looking at 4 to 6 weeks from the time you contract the company to the time that you make final payment and the project is completed. All right, dude. So the most important thing that people ask me about is price. And I don't want to talk about that right now, because there's one thing we got to talk about before then, and that's materials.
Yep.
There are 3 different materials basically that people can build their decks out of, and that is going to affect every level of this project, from the scope to the price. What are those materials that people have the option to build their deck out of?
Yeah, so the 3 most common materials is going to be treated lumber, then cedar, and then composite decking after that. That is in order of price. So that with treated lumber being the least expensive, then cedar, then the composites.
Can you mix and match it all?
Yeah, sometimes we'll do a cedar deck with a composite rail system. The framing members are always treated, and then we can do whatever you want on top of the framing members, but you can mix and match if you'd like.
The whole deck can be framed, the structure of the deck can be framed with treated lumber, and then you could put either cedar or composite or treated lumber on the top of the deck.
Correct.
Okay. What are the pros and cons to treated lumber?
Treated lumber, probably the biggest pro would be that you can get it almost anywhere. You don't have to special order it. You can get it at any lumber yard, Home Depot, Lowe's. They all have treated lumber. It's universally used anywhere, and the cost, it's obviously the least expensive out of the ones that we've talked about. The con is that the fact is that you have to wait at least about a season for it to dry, and all the chemicals that have been used to treat it for that lumber to dry out before you can actually stain it to make it look a little bit nicer. And in that time, it will gray out on you. That would probably be the biggest con right there.
Well, also, I do find it more common that people don't like the way a treated lumber looks.
If you're going for the wood look, cedar is a lot more appealing to the eye than what treated would be.
At least at first. I find that I actually like the way that treated lumber looks after a few years. Okay, now let's talk about cedar. Why would someone pick cedar then?
Most of the people who pick cedar, they're picking it because of the look. Personally, I really like the way cedar looks stained.
All right, but is cedar more expensive than treated?
Yes, cedar is more expensive than treated.
Is cedar as easy to get your hands on?
Not as easy as treated, but it's also not as hard to get as Trex. Most lumber yards will carry it, but your local hardware stores like Home Depot and Lowe's will have some, but they're not going to have a ton of cedar to pick from.
All right, that brings us to our last and most expensive option, which is composite. What the heck is that, bro?
The composite decking is a synthetic material that is made to look like wood.
So what are the pros to using synthetic material?
One of the pros is that you never have to seal it. It's low maintenance, not made from real wood, so it's never going to rot on you. One of the drawbacks is that it may fade over time.
Which wood would fade over time anyway.
Correct. But wood you can refinish. You cannot refinish composite decking.
And when wood fades, it still looks like wood.
Correct.
But composite material, when it fades, looks like faded plastic.
But most of these manufacturers have anywhere from a 10 to a 30-year warranty on their decking.
You have to consider more than just the look when determining these materials, because once you make this decision, now you are more limited in the design options that you can make, such as your railing.
Correct, yeah, because if you go with a composite decking, you're definitely going to want to use their matching composite rail system. All of the manufacturers make matching colors with the rail system, and also they have beautiful accent colors that go to accent the decking as well.
One of the other pros that I just thought about was colors.
Yeah.
With composite materials, you can pick anything from silver to white to black to whatever. Or with wood, you really can't go with those options. And now the third thing that people always are asking us about their deck is cost. How much is it going to cost? Now we're talking about money, dude. What can they expect to pay for a deck?
To start, Doug, you know, we probably couldn't do a deck for under probably $7,500. That would be a ground level deck out of treated lumber with no rail system, average to small size deck. So we're talking maybe 15 by 15. The price just keeps going up with every option that you go with.
If we're talking $7,500 for a base model, treated lumber, ground level, no stairs, no rails, no planters or benches. As soon as you start adding things like a rail system or a pattern in the wood, or you start adding gates, or you start adding stairs, or you lift it off the ground level, or maybe you tier it and have different levels, then the price can go up pretty quickly. So we're just going to stay with that size just to give people some type of a comparison. That same size deck, 15 by 15. How high could you go with that?
If we're talking top of the line with tracks, multiple stairs, upgraded rail system, maybe some lighting, we could easily go up to $40,000.
$40,000 for something with stairs and a rail system.
Yeah, easy.
All right, so there you have it, folks. We hope that this helped in some way. The things that you got to know before building your deck are if you can even build a deck, how big and where you can put it, if the company has access to your yard to build that deck, and if you have room for things like the dumpster and all the trucks. You got to think about things like people are going to be in your yard every day. This thing is going to take 4 to 6 weeks, depending on how long the permit process takes. After that, you got to think about the materials that you want to select. That's going to affect the price, which you're talking $10,000 to $40,000 for 15 by 15 deck. So these are the things you guys need to know before replacing or rebuilding your new deck. If you still have any questions, make sure you leave them in the comment section below. We appreciate your time. We know it's valuable and it means a lot to us. Thank you guys for all the support. If you like this video, make sure you hit the like button and subscribe to the channel and ring that notification bell so you know when more videos are coming out. And until the next time, we are ExStepCousinInLaws.
So check it out.
No, we didn't. Did I go blah, blah, blah?
What are you talking about then?
The last thing that you talked about on camera.
Oh!
Oh yeah. Bloopers, arguments you guys are having. No,
Here we go.
not magic. How the city gets involved.
Yes.
What's up, everybody? What's up, everybody? My name is Doug.
My name's Aaron.
Let's try it again. What's up, everybody? My name is Doug.
My name's Aaron.
My name's Aaron. Do it again. If it's out,
Yeah,
sounding like it. My name's Aaron. What's your name? Let's do it again. My name is Doug.
My name's Aaron.
Oh! I see you got an audience. Why don't you have her do this, dude? Have her put the earphones in. Hi, Chasey.
Hi,
What's up, Instagram? My name is Doug.
my name's Chaseley.
And we are ExStepCousinInLaws. Bro, you screw up one more time and I'm going to start having her do it.
Listen, I think our views will go up if she's on instead of me.
That's what I'm trying to tell you.
Go.
Good.
You're good.
Thanks for taking the time, man, and getting on here with me.
All righty, bud.
All right, bro. Have a good night.
Talk to you.